Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Welcome back to Web3 DJs. We are so excited to have our guest. We've got Joab. He is a Tezos maxi, the creator of Tezotopia and Gift.games, Matterlight, and Mesotopia, and just an all-around stud. So thank you so much for coming on. You know, we had to reschedule this the first time, so we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Good Sunday morning show. Always nice.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. You know, it is a great day for a great day. And we're really glad to have you on here, just like Hofstra said. So the first thing that I really want to know and what we really like to do on this show is understand who you were before Web3. And so, Joab, why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Where you're from, what you were doing, and all of that good stuff.
Sure. So I've always been a creative type. For Gift Games, I'm a creative director. Essentially, designed the game, designed the whole DeFi elements to Tezotopia, yield farming with your NFTs and all that. But before that world, before I totally dove into DeFi and play to earn, I was a marketing expert, digital marketing. I did graphic design and have a company called Otherside Media, which is all marketing and graphic design focused. So a lot of my use cases for creating NFTs were already there. I mean, it takes good marketing, good communication, and good artwork to start NFT projects like this. So I really use the skills that I had in place already to do that. And I've been toying around as a hobbyist, like game designer, game dev since high school. So I was creating maps and stuff for Half-Life mods and like way back. And so I've been playing and toying around with game development from an early age, and finally decided to go all in last year. And yeah, so it's just been kind of a lot of different things leading up to this, kind of like a nice perfect storm of, oh, look, all my skills in one place, let me do this. And it's been great. It's been fun. Building community is really fun, and just having different champions and stuff, rooting for you and hoping, for the success of the project is always great and encouraging.
Yeah, definitely. And so you said that like you have always been interested in games, you've always been a creative, and you've always kind of wanted to blend those two worlds. Is developing a full-fledged game like you've done with Tezotopia something that you've always wanted to do? How did you see, Web3 as an avenue to get there?
Well, I mean, like I said, it was it's a mixture of all the skills that I've already got, like the marketing, the graphic design, getting creative with it. And I saw the potential of Web3, and I chose Tezo specifically because I saw like really a community that's hungry for projects, hungry for being a leader in Web3, being a leader in crypto. And right as I launched, I saw that support immediately. The community backed, the project totally. Hundreds of cheerleaders on Twitter, ever since we've been in existence, and it's just been great. So seeing that opportunity on Tezo specifically in jumping in and doing it, I got the support right away from developers to, learning about the documentation. It seemed like the whole framework and foundation to really build something great was there already. So I took a chance on Tezos. I was looking at, other chains. But yeah, I took a chance on Tezos because I saw the community growth. I saw the passion. And 1 year later, here we are, Tezotopia, launching the battles. We have the play to earn element now. And we started with our yield farming blocks of land that are still incredibly popular. People love collecting those and making new ones. But yeah, now we got the play to earn element. I feel like it's able to attract different people and more gamers now than people who are just interested in yield farming and passive income.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people ask me about the game because I'm pretty active on it. And I don't know that I have like a definitive answer on how to explain what Tezotopia is. So I wanted to hear how you explain it to a new person. Like, what is Tezotopia?
Tezotopia is it's more of a real-time strategy game than a metaverse. So to me, I treat it like that, and especially that goes to my the games that I like, right? I like real-time strategy games. I like strategic battle games, and so the battles are modeled after Heroes of Might and Magic battles. Like you got that the chessboard hex element to it, and then the whole structure of the yield farming and it producing resources. That's just a little nod to like StarCraft and Warcraft 2, the early games, and you're using those elements to do things within the game itself. So, and they're tokenized resources, so they're actually worth something. They have value, and they're listed on a decentralized exchange. So, in a nutshell, a real-time strategy game. The meta elements are these block of land that are yield farming that you can produce units with, and then the play to earn element is those Heroes of Might and Magic battles. And you don't have to have land to battle; you just have to have units. And so, yeah, right now the battles is the thing that's evolving the most, and the thing that we're going to continue to work on balancing. Heavier units, lighter units. We want to make it fun for everyone and really inviting for newbies to come in and not feel, like they're too late. We want everybody to feel like, hey, I can get started. I can start earning, and hey, I can even get a block of land out of these loot boxes. So, yeah, it's really a good opportunity for Web3 and play to earn to do new things, not only giving ownership to the players and the investors, but things like how we're doing, where you're able to earn passive income with a block of land and be able to take that at the end of the week and just cash it out, or reinvest it, or whatever you feel like doing. It's something we're really proud of and happy that's we're seeing all the pieces come together, and we're just gonna keep building up on it.
Yeah, definitely. I have to chime in here because when Hofstra and I were kind of getting ready for the show, that obviously I was doing research last night and checking everything out, and my instant impression is it literally looks like a game that I would have walked by and seen my dad playing or something like that. And it's crazy because you mentioned Heroes and Might and Magic. I mean, I literally grew up. That's the first game that I grew up playing. Well, it was Backyard Soccer and then Heroes of Might and Magic and like the OG. And so I definitely get those vibes here. I think it's really awesome that you were doing this. Honestly, I obviously you can tell by the smile on my face, I'm way more excited now that you said that than I was before. And I was pretty pumped before. So it's really, really awesome to make that connection, and everything's just kind of come back full circle. But really, I mean, it's amazing what you have already built out. One of the first things that I had said to Hofstra is like, what the heck are people on Ethereum doing? Every single project is promising play to earn. They've got nothing even close to this put together. And so it's really great. One of the questions that I did want to ask you, because you mentioned earlier that you don't have to have land to play the battle piece. So you've kind of broken it up into, and I believe the nomenclature is Star Lord and Landlord. Talk to us a little bit about the difference between those two. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so it's landlords and warlords. So you can choose one path, or you can choose both. So one way to get into the game immediately is just get three units. All you need is 3 units, or one if you want to just go be a total like power rating warlord, because we have a balancing system now with power ratings, and so one unit is the Big Mac, which notorious Big Mac unit is. He's got a high power rating, super overpowered unit, but you can only bring one of those into the current battles right now because he pretty much annihilates anything that comes his way.
Okay.
So
I got crushed on the battle. I was like, my guy, I don't have good enough guys, but I know you guys have a
we're working.
We're
working on creating kind of like a lightweight, midweight, and heavyweight divisions, and then kind of like a free for all thing is something we're still kind of toying with the idea. But I know some players really want the free for all, where they can just bring in crazy amounts of units to battle. So to get back to your question, sorry, the landlord element, it was really created at the onset of the game to give value to the tokens and to kind of create value for the ecosystem itself and to start, the emissions of those tokens. So that began, and we really targeted crypto enthusiasts, crypto investors. We weren't targeting gamers so much. And they invested and bought those early blocks of land. And there you can see, the mishmash, I call it the Grandma Quilt of
a great description. Yeah, very nice.
Hey, I have sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but who is this ANT guy that owns like thousands of plots of lands? We're all trying to figure this out. Like, who is this guy?
And he runs a project called TZ Drops, and he's one of the early investors. He found out about Tezotopia through Plenty. We started our Plenty farms with like Uno and GIF, and he's like, well, what is this? And so he's a whale.
Yeah, like if you pull that back up, Sticky, if you pull that back up and you just type in this guy's name, it's like, I don't know how many plots of lands he owned. But
so he invested a lot in unobtainium, and he was like at every raffle, and when the raffle system was doing the tickets, and so he put in the time, man. He put in the time, he put in the money to get these blocks of land. And so now the tickets to mint, they're all distributed through the loot boxes. So I think he's slowed down there. He either has to buy the tickets or actually battle, but I don't think he's actually battling. He was one of those early crypto investors that saw the potential of the blocks of land and all that. Yeah, some people go ham, man. Some people have some people have huge plots of land, and people are always building and growing their empires. So it's now given the warlords potential to start their empires as well. So they're earning artifacts, which are the decorations that go on the block of land, but they each represent multipliers of how much resources are produced. So with those decorations on your block of land, you're able to kind of customize how many multipliers you can fit into your block.
Okay, and so by decorations, you mean like this tree that I'm seeing here? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Or this statue?
Yeah,
and they each signify something different.
Let me share my screen. I'll show you what it looks like on the actual game.
Yeah. So those they're called artifacts, and they represent different multipliers. So some artifacts can be like 3 times Uno or 3 times energy. Or they can have, a combination of things. So if you go kind of like to that, so you see those blocks of land there. Here you go.
Oh, nice.
Some are just decorative.
How's Hofstra's collection looking? Here, feel free to rip the man. Yeah.
Oh. Hey, I'm not an ANT creator, but I went hard. I probably dropped a few $1,000s. This game literally blew my mind when I saw it. I was like, because I was in Parallel Alpha. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that game. I bought, 40 of those, and they were talking about a card game. They were talking about all this stuff, and when my buddies turned me on to this, I was just like, what? Like, you can mine minerals and you get paid?
Like,
what's that?
How did you discover the game? So, like, how did you run into it?
Well, so we're in this group called Back Alley. Shout out Back Alley. And
Oh yeah.
these guys are always grinding. They're always like, they're on Avalanche, they're on Tezos, they're on this, they're on that. And so one day I come in and they were just all talking about, yeah, we're mining minerals. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, we're making, you know, $3, $5 a day. And I've got this thing. They were going, I was like, what? And so we went on Discord and then they video chatted me and literally walked me through. I think it would have been difficult if I tried to do it without, you know, knowledge of Tezos. So I opened a Kukai wallet. They showed me the whole thing. And then at each turn, I was just like more and more impressed. And and they were like, you can win the raffles. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I got to get in. I felt like I was already behind. So I just bought a bunch of stuff, started building. And ever since then, it's just been super interesting and cool. And I'm really impressed. Like in a year, what you guys have built is like Sticky said, like a lot of people are saying that they're going to do this stuff, but you can come on here and you can do, you know, staking and, you know, tokenomics and play to earn and battling and, you know, metaverse and everything is built out and it works really, really well.
Yeah, no, it's something we're super proud of and how it's all come together. And especially with, like, I always get, you know, oh, if you would have built this on another chain, like you guys would be, you know,
right.
40,000, 60,000 players at this point. And it's something I look back on, but I really believe in the longevity of Tezos. Like I believe it's very early and it's going to turn around. You know, more Ethereum people are kind of like coming on to the idea of like, oh, Tezos NFTs. Oh shit, they got a whole great artwork. It's you know, it's affordable, and you know, as the slow drip happens of, you know, people discovering Tezos, I think it's going to be incredibly beneficial for us. Like you said, like we already have a full product. We already got something totally functioning, and we're not just a promise that we've made. We're not just a white paper or a roadmap. We are an actual product, and so it's really good to see what it's become, and it's good to see other people discovering it and all. I don't know if you can hear my son's crying in the background.
All good. My dog is begging me to let him out right here. I think you can kind of see him peeking in the
but yeah, so it's been a really fun journey, and it's cool to see, you know, like how you discovered it, and really one big mission of ours here in this next year is to really start turning heads from Ethereum over to Tezos, and hey, come check us out. Like you guys, like you're saying, you know, we have a full product, we have a full game going, and yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome to, you know, turn some heads and start inviting the community over. And a piece of that is jumping on podcasts like this.
Absolutely, 100%. And you know, you said you've already been around a year. That is a huge testament to you and your team in itself, right? We see projects come and go all the time, or projects come do their thing, and you know, kind of
peace out.
Building, right? And we were just talking yesterday on our show about how many view this as a bear market and are saying, all right, let me just write it out, and then, you know, once the market corrects itself, we'll get back to the project and continue to go on. And you guys are just building through all of this. So you've been around for 1 year. How long were you working on the project? What did the build-up look like?
So the build-up it started August 2020. And
wow.
And so a lot of the planning, a lot of the, you know, the framework of how this thing is going to work and all that, it started, you know, August 2020, and we launched I was toying and just launching like some collectibles on Calumet at the time, the Calumet marketplace on Tezos, and using that as like kind of marketing, you know, like, oh, look at these cool 3D models and all that stuff. And then we launched on May the 4th of 2021, and
nice.
Yeah.
Be with you.
May the 4th be with you. And then completely sold out all the blocks of land that we released. And so I started slowly like releasing blocks of land and expanding on the vision itself. And then we started like really building, like really building with devs in May or June of that year. And so
instantly.
Yeah, and so we started building, and then by August and September, we had the yield farming blocks of land. We had our marketplace. We had, a lot of the crucial elements to like really start the beginning of things. And then we partnered with QuickSave Interactive, who's been building games, browser-based games, for years now, and they got game developers and game designers that go all the way back to like Sega Rally. And so I knew these guys from my time living in Austin, where I had hosted them during South by Southwest. They like were couch surfed on my couch, and so I knew them, and I knew their history, and I trusted them. So I was like, "Hey, you guys want to build a game, a crypto game?" And they're totally Web 2 guys, and so they were like, "Sure, what is it?" And so so we were supposed to launch the game in December. We ended up launching the closed beta in February, and then now we're totally, open to the public.
Sure, and we'd be remiss if we didn't, pull your team up here for get a little bit of the spotlight as well. And so this is one of the individuals, I guess, you're talking about with QuickSave.
Yeah, VK. He's the creative director and co-founder of QuickSave, and so he's got a lot of input into the balancing and all that. And so we go back and forth on like making sure the game stays true to the promises that we made it to early investors, but also evolves enough to invite new players as well. And early adopters will be rewarded. And I mean, a lot of them have been, so and continue to be. So it's something that we kind of, it's our mantra for gift games is, and the way we want to do that is not only just focus on Tezotopia itself, but like we want to create a whole ecosystem of games that use those tokens. And so it's not kind of what you see in some ecosystems where it's just one game and they're just relying on new players for that one game. We want Tezotopia, and we're working on a card game, Matterlight, next. That'll come out Q3, and it's going to use the same tokens within the game. And then we're expanding and working on a metaverse, like a virtual Vegas type thing, where where you walk in, and instead of a slot machine or a poker table or a blackjack table, you got play to earn games. So you're walking into a kind of a casino experience, but instead of casino games, you've got play to earn games. And really, that's going to be really the next thing the next big thing that we're doing, and probably leading up more into next year, unveiling and unleashing a lot of those things.
That's awesome. And will it all be under the gift.games umbrella?
Yeah.
Is that how it's going to be?
Yeah. And so we want to use this virtual Vegas metaverse to kind of port you to all these different games. And we want to create essentially an ecosystem that we invite other game developers to set up shop within that world. And so, I mean, that's on the roadmap. We're probably going to release here in the next month or so a more detailed roadmap, because we released one at the beginning of the year of what this year looks like. But now we want to now that the vision has kind of gotten reworked and polished, we're going to put that out here in the next month or so. Going to give a better idea of what we're doing and what our investors can expect.
So speaking of investors, you have Gavin Maloof that jumped on the team, right? And is that how the casino thing came to be? And also, so you have as far as the ecosystem and what you were just explaining, how is that all put together? So I'm guessing that the card game will apply to the Tezotopia game, to the casino, so all these things eventually will connect and be one. Is that?
Yeah. So behind the scenes, kind of working on a storyline, kind of like a Marvel universe type thing. So it's like Tezotopia universe of the Matterlight game takes place in a city called Metzopia on a planet called Lorkin that people migrated to years after Tezotopia. and they set up shop there, and they're still fighting for Uno. They're still fighting for control of Uno, and so there's Matterlight.
Oh man, this is on your personal banner on Twitter, isn't it? Right now, one of these.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally, whenever I was checking it out, I was telling Hofstra like, "Yo, check that out. That looks so sweet. The art, awesome." Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So Matterlight, we actually have our sale for Matterlight coming up next month, so June 7th, and we'll be we're doing a whitelist contest on our Discord, but also announcing the whitelist parameters themselves for some holders and stuff like that. Next week, we'll be announcing like the official parameters for that.
Mark
But
your
yeah,
calendars, people.
Yeah, go in the Discord. I did it this morning. I invited 5 friends, and there's some of the other stuff. So make sure you got your notifications on the Matterlight page, because the one thing I know about Tezotopia is you have to have your notifications on Twitter on, because that's when they're dropping all the free stuff. So it's almost like a thing that you got to get there, and you're just like, if I miss it, I get pissed, because you do reward. Like the stuff that I've got has been valuable. Like $50, $100. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
He's not sly. He was sending out the Discord invites to me too, saying, "Hey man, hop in here for me."
Well, dude, I missed the land sale. Like when he was talking about how they dropped that at the very beginning. Man, I if I had a Genesis piece, I'd be so stoked, and I don't. So like the next best thing for me is the Matterlight, and
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we give away. Let's give away a whitelist.
Yeah, so hang around to the end.
Yes,
Actually, yes, let's do a giveaway. So after this, guys, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. But also, we're going to be retweeting on Twitter, so pay attention. We're going to do a giveaway. So little alpha there.
Whitelist for the Matterlight, and you guys already heard. I was excited about the art. Didn't know they were going to give the whitelist away, so y'all better get after it. Otherwise, I'm gonna grab it for myself. So.
Okay, so you've got the ecosystem and Matterlight, and so maybe talk about Mesotopia a little bit and how that applies.
Yeah, so Mesotopia. We're changing the name actually, but that's to be announced because the name's a little funky.
Hey, if you need inspiration, Sticky Topia could work. Sticky Finger Topia, something in that. We'll connect after this. We'll figure something out. Yeah.
So we got Mesotopia, and what we're doing there is bringing on corporate brands, entertainment brands, casinos, resorts, and a big part of that project is Gavin Maloof. He's a partner with Gift Games now, and really helping connect us to the right people to build this whole thing out. And so we want this to be what we're calling the entertainment capital of the metaverse, and we want people to go there to play to earn, to see shows, have immersive experiences, and Uno is going to be unobtainium. Is going to be one of the big tokens in the ecosystem that you'll use to access different things, access drops, access concerts and all that. So that's another way that we're pushing unobtainium. And so in Matterlight itself, kind of coming back and putting the pieces together of how the tokens and the ecosystem is going to work. In Matterlight, Uno is going to be used, and then machinery will be used. So
can you just explain Uno real quick for our listeners? And had I not done research and talked to Hofstra, I wouldn't have known either. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, like the tokens in general. So you have machine, you have energy, you have minerals, you have Uno, you have GIF. Like, how does all that work?
So GIF is our company token, and we're probably going to set up the governance part of it with the GIF token.
And you can stake that right now, correct?
Right now you can stake that, and you can earn off the revenue of our marketplace. So if you stake 100,000 GIF, you earn a portion of whatever your makeup is. Part of that. So 3% of all our sales, secondary, primary, go into a rewards pool. You stake, and you can earn off of that. And then Yeah, unobtainium. So unobtainium is the slowest, emission rate of all the tokens in our game right now. So that one is emitted only through the blocks of land that produce Uno, and it's limited to 333,333 Uno to ever exist. It gets burned every time a new block of land is created by a player. So 0.25 is burned each time. And I mean, let me look at the.
Yeah, so this is kind of a breakdown right here. Also, if you get in the Discord, this is linked, but it kind of breaks down how all the staking works here.
Yeah, docs.gift.games is kind of where you get the breakdown of everything.
Yeah, and by the way, we will have all the links in the video description, so you can definitely check all that stuff out there if you're looking for the specific locations.
Nice. Uno, energy, machinery, mineral, GIF, and if and if you have enough GIF and you stake, there's some sort of rewards where you get stuff back, correct?
Yeah. So if you go to Tezotopia.com, real quick, and then you go to the Starbase.
Sorry, right here.
Yeah, you have to go to the app.
Yeah, the app part, the Starbase. It's a little block of land looking icon, and then get staking. There you go. And so, yeah, you'll see in the rewards pool there the current cycle and what's being put into it. And so, like I said, 3% of all the sales go into this pool. And so the same thing's going to happen for Matterlight. 3% of all the Matterlight sales are going to go into this pool.
Okay.
You stake 100,000 GIF. That's the minimum to start earning off the pool.
That's a pretty awesome interest rate.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it fluctuates based on how we did that month,
Right.
And so the first month that it launched, it was a collection of all the months leading up to it.
Okay.
And so, that was probably the highest APR that we've had. And, it's been kind of up and down since then. But yeah, I mean, it's a way to give back, a way to reward our GIF investors, by giving them a portion of the marketplace, revenue. And yeah, man. So the minerals, energy, machinery, all those going to have different use cases with different games. So I mean, I say this a lot on different podcasts or anytime I'm talking on an AMA or something. It's like I feel like one of our original sins was having so many of these tokens where we could have just had like one, and kind of like Axie has their SLP or is it SLP? Yeah. So it's a representative of like 3 different tokens, and so what we're doing now is kind of like a blessing in disguise in the sense of like, okay, well now this one game is going to focus on just that and
make mineral great again.
Mineral's kind of been the most stable one, actually.
I was actually just talking about it because as the game progresses, you're almost like along for the ride. As each thing opens up, it changes because energy. I was always like, man, I got so much energy, but now it's important when you battle, you have to use energy. So I blew through thousands of my energy, and I had never really ever touched it before. And then I'm sure, we're always in these discussions about when this comes out, and then you got the spies, and then this, and then all the other minerals are going to actually, fluctuate in value because they're going to have, real things that apply to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me that sweet,
So yeah, so you get Matterlight, which is going to use Uno and machinery. Tezotopia currently uses energy to repair units, but you're also using all the other elements to create buildings and then to create battle units, which will be live here soon. And then minerals, we had a small game planned for it, but we started turning into this focus on Matterlight and the Virtual Vegas project. And so, sorry, Mineral farmers, mineral enthusiasts, we will have something for you, but it's not coming as soon as I thought it was. So yeah, man, it's been fun experimenting with the tokens and seeing the potential of what we could do with these different tokens. They already exist. They already have value to them. And so now it's just a matter of putting a play to earn game behind it, and also hoping, that other individuals, and there's a rumor that some people were going to create a certain, project or something that uses machinery or that uses energy, and it's just a token they could use to launch their PFP projects or to launch their own games as well.
Yeah. Talk about Tezotopia, because there was NFTs that you could get, and then there's the key where I can't explain it probably as good as you, but can you explain Tezotopia?
So the Kogo team, we got really close with them. They had a game. Before it was called Tezotopia. It came into our ecosystem. It was called Kogoverse, and so it's a 2D metaverse. Little skeleton dudes, really like artwork's very like doodle based. And what you can do is you can get keys, and that key represents, like a high-rise building or so. So you got like several floors or whatever that key unlocks, and that's your home base in Tezotopia. And then you can decorate it with all the NFTs that you own. You can put them on your walls. You can break into other people's houses and spray paint their walls. And so so it's just a fun little place where you can have your display of your NFTs, your NFT galleries, but also just kind of just like take a piss on each other and go graffiti. So it's just a fun little world. And the Kogo team is actually going to be the ones building Matterlight. So their hearts are in it, man, and it's really cool to see all the new things that they're coming up with. So they're going to work on getting that game out and all the animations, all the artwork, and it's looking great. So yeah, the Kogo team, we essentially merged, and they became part of Good Games a couple months ago, and so they've been helping us with Matterlight, and we've been helping them with Tezotopia. But they're kind of seeing I wouldn't say a sunset to Tezotopia. Essentially, it's going to be a completed product here by next month, and so they'll be able to focus a lot more time on Matterlight.
Dang, that is outstanding. And back to the Matterlight piece, when Hofstra had the website pulled up earlier, it said, play demo. Is that demo out there for people to play right now? Is that?
Yeah, so the demo is an off-chain demo, and you're playing against AI. But you get to see essentially the basic framework of the game. You don't get to, you can pull it up right now if you want to play the demo. You get to see the basic structure of the game, and animations are going to change, graphics are going to get updated.
Right.
But you get to kind of just mess around with it.
Okay, and this is that card game that you were talking about. Very nice, very cool.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration here? Did you try to base it off of like any card games that we'd be familiar with?
Yeah. So a lot of inspiration is from Gods Unchained, and what they're doing right now on Web3 with card games, with their card game, and really the extra inspiration was kind of creating more of a narrative and a storyline behind the world of Tezotopia, and so giving it a little bit more structure, because a lot of narrative isn't there.
Hey, Hofstra, you better hand over the controller. Come on.
This is how my Tezotopia experience is. I just get my ass kicked all the time.
Come on.
You're playing against AI there.
And I come back for more.
So that little demo gives you an idea of the game. But the inspiration really are the artist that's been making all the comic book work. He's working on little storylines behind the characters and stuff like that. But if you pull up the Matterlight website, there's kind of like it's a little narrative, like 3,000 years after Tezotopia, people migrated over to this world, and what became of they kind of absorbed the energy of Uno, and they became these superheroes called Matterlights. And so now they're guardians of unobtainium and using it to claim parts of the world. So the GameFi element to Matterlight, if you go to the learn more part, up there on the top nav.
The top.
Learn more.
The top of your screen. Yeah.
I'm all the way up.
Do you see it at the top?
Learn more right in the
There it is. Yes, sir.
Sorry.
All right. If you scroll down,
Nice.
some basic So what we're gonna have is we're gonna have randomly generated tournaments for Matterlight. Brackets of 4, 8, or 16 players, and you use Uno to enter that tournament. Each time you win, you're going to get victory points, and you can convert those over to control points to where you can stake those on that map.
Okay.
The map's going to evolve. It's not going to look that basic, but all the Uno, a portion of that is going to be part of the rewards pool. So more land that you stake on, more land that you control, in Tezotopia, you'll be able to earn that. So the more you battle, the more you can stake, and the more you can earn and control portions of the map. So that's going to be our kind of DeFi element to Matterlight.
Yeah.
We really one of the goals in every game, apart from having use cases for every NFT, is also having sort of like a DeFi element, and that's what we're going to do with Matterlight. Is you're able to claim pieces of the map, and by claiming pieces of the map, you're able to earn.
Yeah, and so I actually kind of want to ask about that. Traditionally, I think when we think of at least for me, whenever I've thought about NFTs, it's been kind of like that, 10,000 piece collection, right? And you put it up as your profile picture, utility is to come sort of deal, all of that routine. But the collection is limited. And earlier you had mentioned that, if you had gone on another blockchain, so on and so forth, people would say you'd have 40,000, 60,000, something like that. So can you kind of help me understand how that's possible, or what that structure looks like, why you were able to, continue to onboard people versus having a limited collection? I don't know. Does that question make sense? I guess what I'm trying to understand is when we buy an NFT on Ethereum, generally I'm just buying one picture. They put out 10,000 of them, and that's all there will ever be. But your platform will allow, is there a cap on the number of players? And how does that work?
So, there's no cap on the amount of players. The NFTs right now that are out is what's out. The land itself, what's kind of taking precedence over NFT or token, right? Because they're not kind of tied together. So the land is producing tokens, and the limit is based really on unobtainium's emission rate. So,
okay.
So there's more weight on the tokens themselves than the NFTs. So right now there's actually 10,000 plus pieces of land out there right now, and that have all been generated and created by users by our minting process. And so, will there be a cap on land? Maybe, but there is definitely a cap on unobtainium. And so, one of the things that we're talking about exploring is, well, do we lower the emission rate so we can have a longer,
Right.
emission life for unobtainium? Because some people dump some projections, and they're projecting early 2024 all unobtainium is out, and it's out into the circulating supply. But then from there, once it's out into the circulating supply, all it has to do now is burn, because it's the only thing it can do. And so, it's kind of a debate we're having internally, going back and forth of well, do we just let it all come out and then we just start burning it and it just becomes deflationary, or do we give it a longer life, maybe into 2028 or 2030 or whatever, as far as we can, or we just continue to have it into infinity. Things to see, things that we're still exploring and kind of getting cues from the community about. And that's really been one of our strong suits, is kind of listening to that community feedback of the direction that we go. And I know we don't have the governance portion in there, but I think we're small enough right now where we can do polls in our Telegram or Discord, where we just get that active community feedback, and they give us anecdotal feedback where they're seeing this happening, and then we group together and we're like, okay, what can we do to solve this problem? So it's I think that's kind of been the thing that's helped shape this year. If you want, you're looking at, to answer your question in a different way, other than like hard capping all that, how we stayed along this long is really listening to the community and the community feedback and putting that back into the game.
So I had asked you before how you explain things. When people ask me about Tezotopia, I say they've gamified investing. That's kind of a short answer. And then the other part is, it's like you're along for the ride in the development of a video game. And so exactly what you just said, where you take the community advice, I found that to be very true, because even when the battling started, when you guys were talking about rating systems, I mean, you guys put that into play really quick. And I think that's like, one of the biggest takeaways I have is, people talk about community, but your community is very strong, and it's very active in the development of the game. And it's a much different experience, I think, than maybe I've had on other projects, where it seems like there's a team and then you're just getting what they tell you. But what does your team look like? Because you said you're small. How many people are there? I saw this before, but I mean, how many people are developing? How many people are helping?
Yeah, we're a team about 12 members, and 8 or so are developers and designers, and so then the rest are community managers or marketing people. So yeah, it's a fairly small team. We are hoping to build out the team and have a game development team in-house, so we can start doing everything and not having to. And the Kogo team is a piece of that, right? Like, that's our first step into it. Yeah. But even then, the Kogo team is only 3 guys, and so it's still a small portion of people. And so we really want to bring on a big game dev team and I'm on leather jacket. Will there be Doogie Twisters in Tezotopia? Sure, there'll always be a nod to the community. Doogie Twisters, it was an artifact, and it was put out by. So we have a collab with another project on Tezos called Pigs at War, and they were always putting out artifacts. They create the artwork, and we put it out and do like a rev share on it. And Doogie Twisters was some strip club looking place, and so will there be Doogie? Yeah, sure.
You can catch me on Tezos at Doogie Twisters. That's where you'll find me.
Yeah, that's where all the action is.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Joab, earlier in the show, you had mentioned that one of the real driving factors for you to go to Tezos was that community. And I can tell just by the engagement here on the show, your community really is behind you. I've found that, and I would say maybe only 1 or 2 other individuals that we talked to that really has like a strong community like you have here behind them. I do want to ask though, were there any kind of like technical considerations that made you say Tezos is the blockchain for us?
Well, I mean, the whole, it is the most decentralized that I see blockchain right now. Okay. The technology behind it, it's also, self-amending, so you don't have to fork every time you upgrade it.
Yeah.
So we're 9 upgrades in. We're going on our 10th upgrade for Tezos, and wow. It's just been constantly improving. And
we're waiting on Ethereum too. Right?
Yeah. And so you see things like, and it's noticeable changes. It's not just like talk. You're seeing transactions are quick and fees are way down, and it's really awesome to see it, in action. And so that being one portion of it, and the other, the whole talk of the NFTs and them being clean NFTs and being environmentally friendly.
Right.
Good marketing position, sure, but also it's true because it's all a proof of stake, and it is low transaction fees, and it is taking up less energy to create these NFTs. And then really the technical portion of how these NFTs are structured and everything made it really easy to just jump in. As a total outsider of two Tezos, I was able to grasp it fairly quickly. It's not Solidity based. It's written in Mickelson, which is it's a whole language created just for Tezos, and then there's SmartPy, which is a library based off of that technology. So it kind of simplifies it and makes it a little bit more graspable and more in line with the Solidity basics and the Solidity frameworks. So that was easier to jump into it. Totally something new. You got Temple Wallet, you got Kukai Wallet, which is browser based, which I have never seen like on the Ethereum side.
Right.
And Temple's more of like a MetaMask clone. So it's yeah. I mean, there was, like I said, like all the foundational stuff was there. It has good wallets, it has secure wallets, it has great security, great scalability, and when I was doing the research, I was like, well, this seems to be the blockchain I'm going to build this on, because I see a really strong future here.
Yeah,
I tell people you can't even you couldn't play this game on Ethereum. Imagine all the gas transactions, like everything that you're doing, it just would be impossible.
Right. Yeah.
Can you talk to us about the difference between Kukai and Temple, and maybe like if there's a preference between one or the other? Because part of the thing that we had talked about previously is like Tezos is awesome. How do we get people to understand that? And so as somebody who's not on the chain, just like the first time our listeners got onto Ethereum, it is kind of like drinking out of a water hose in terms of the amount of information that's thrown at you. What wallet do I choose? How do I get started? What blockchain or what platform do I buy Tezos on? All this sort of stuff. And so I think a great first step is Kukai or Temple.
Oh, it depends on the learning curve for Temple. Is if you're coming from MetaMask, it's pretty one-to-one.
Okay.
Essentially, you could buy Tezos directly on both of those wallets.
Oh, nice.
And Kukai, I like because it's browser based, so I could use it. It's very mobile friendly. I can use it and Temple just released their mobile app on Android, I think, recently too.
Pull up mine right now. I got Tezos, my wallet open. What he's talking about browser based. I just want to show this. So you log in right here. I have my .tez, but how you find Tezotopia? So like all
and
your
which
NFTs
one is
here.
this? Hofstra?
This
Just
is
tell us.
This is
Kukai.
Kukai.
Yeah, but so all of your tokens here. So machine entity mineral, right? If you go down right here, you access Tezotopia in the wallet. So you just click here and then you verify it. But then when you have to swap for your tokens, you go to this Quippy swap, and everything is just done within the wallet. It's super slick. That's the thing that when I came from, Ethereum and they were showing me this, I was just kind of blown away by how easy and how well it worked. And just, it was simple. And what he was saying with the security, it was very secure, and just how you log in and how you use it was just simple.
Yeah, and the thing with Kukai also, he has direct authentication, so you can log in with your Twitter, your Gmail, Facebook, and I think here in the next couple of months, you're going to open up Apple ID login as well. So it makes it easy to onboard,
right,
without having to learn a seed phrase and all that stuff.
Yeah. So we're getting close to time, almost at an hour. Is there anything maybe we didn't want to talk about? Anything that you'd like to let the audience know that's coming up? Just open.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just reiterate the Matterlight June 7th sale. We're splitting it up into different tiers, so it's going to gradually get more expensive as the tiers run out. So the first packs will be cheaper, and then they'll go up in price.
Sure.
The tachyon, and I want to say, let me double check.
Nice.
Say something that's not
giving us all the alpha here. This is what we love.
I'm literally putting the Matterlight.
Yeah, so yeah, if you look at
camera.
learn more on Matterlight, you'll see the tachyon and the ultra package will only have 2 tiers. So after that, you won't be able to buy them. So after the first 1,000 of those, but the ultra pack, and then there's only going to be 5,000 packs of the tachyon. Now
how much is the pack? What are you guys going to list it at?
So yeah, you can find that information matterlight.io/learn more. But the tachyon will be 20 Tezos, and the ultra pack will be 15 Tezos in the first tier, and then on the second tier is going to be 25 Tezos. The flash pack will be 5 Tezos, tier 2. Once that first tier is done, and so what I mean by that, once the first 500 are gone, it's going to move into a higher price range. So then it'll be 10 Tezos, and then in the third tier it'll be 20 Tezos. And then the light pack will be 1 Tezos, 2 Tezos in the second tier, 4 Tezos, and then 6 Tezos. So yeah, and then that'll be the first generation of Matterlight cards out, and that generation will never be minted again. And those cards will be in circulation, and then we'll work on the next card packs after that.
Yeah, and just to bring everything full circle for our users, because sometimes 20 Tezos, especially if you're coming from the Ethereum world, can seem a little daunting. Right? Tezos is sitting about $2 right now, so definitely a really affordable, entry point.
Awesome.
So Joab, like we mentioned, I know we're close to time. We do have some friends who are, into Tezotopia pretty hardcore, and I promised them I would not let you get away without asking this question. And what they want to know is, if you had the opportunity to go one-on-one and just have a conversation or a lunch or something like that with someone in the NFT space, who would it be and why?
Oh, shoot.
Nice. We want to know who you're looking up to. Someone's attention that you want to grab. Yeah.
I'd want to probably grab a lunch with the Axie guys and really pick their brain and see how they jumped into it in the first place, and did they expect things to go the way they're going now?
Yeah.
A dude saying Trump's wife.
That's so funny.
No, for sure the Axie guys. I mean, that's kind of like they're the top dog right now. Like, why wouldn't I want to learn from them and see their journey? The Z.Run guys, I've always kind of looked at the Z.Run model. Also, kind of, I looked up to those guys as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it'd be definitely the Axie guys for sure.
What's interesting about that, how I got onboarded into NFTs, was listening to the Bankless podcast, and they were talking about the people that were in the Discord for Axie early on that got the tokens and that were just early adopters, made like, I don't know, 10,000x on their coins or something crazy. And a lot of them were just into it, and it was during COVID, and none of them really thought that was going to happen, but it blew up. And then what I saw on Tezotopia, I was like, well, I missed that. And, some of it's speculation on where the market's going to go. But I mean, Ethereum at some point is just not sustainable the way that it operates now. And if they can't figure that out, it's just, you're already seeing it with Sol, right? People are jumping over and they're like, oh, there's no, but what you can do if you want a decentralized platform, Tezos is it. And so if you get all the functionality of both, and, let's say there was, something like Tezotopia that just took off and, 5 years from now was huge, you may have an opportunity to, do well. Again, it's not financial advice. It's just kind of how I was looking at it. Was I want to be early. I want to get these things now because there's huge incentives for being early in the space, and you really do get rewarded.
Yep. 100%. Sam Sage said it when he was on our show. if you can find 10 different ways to make $1, why would you not go ahead and take advantage of that? And you have provided an awesome, fun, interactive way to do that, right? Not just to make cash, but to foster some creativity, to connect with people that you would have never connected with before in the Tezotopia, I guess, metaverse, if you will. And so I am personally very excited for the project. I told Hofstra last night, literally, I wish I wouldn't have looked at anything because my reactions were so genuinely just like shocked. I couldn't believe, what you've already got built out, the platform that you guys are pushing out that we can play now, right? This isn't some grandeur scheme that's like, it's going to come, it's going to come, it's going to come. Just wait, just wait. This is out there now. If you're interested in this, like, go ahead and hop on. All the links will be in the description. I'm going to play the trailer while we kind of, close the show here. But Joab, yeah, is there anything else that we need to know or that you want to tell the community before we, kind of let you go here?
Let me throw you the link to it's not a trailer. It's a community member made a trailer. Let me throw it on Twitter on the private chat. Because it shows you a little bit of the game itself. The trailer is kind of like just 3D rendering of stuff.
So is it the one that I'm showing now, or is
it? Yeah, that's one.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I don't even know what would you ask here at the end.
I was just saying if there's anything you want to just kind of like leave the community with or something like that. What can we look forward to? I know you've dropped a lot of alpha here. What's to come? Something you want to just like, hey, stick with me, anything like that to kind of close this out here?
I mean, just to say, we're here, we're building, and we're going to keep building. So it's an ecosystem. So it's not just Tezotopia. It's Matterlight. It's Medzopia. It's more things that we're just building upon and creating an ecosystem to bring in different players, keep the tokens thriving, and even crossing over NFTs into other games as well. So yeah, we're here, we're building, and we're going to keep building. Check out Tezotopia, tezotopia.com. We're working on some visual guides to kind of answer those questions of newcomers coming in and seeing like Kukai or Temple, what's this dashboard, what are battles, how do I battle, all that stuff. So we'll be putting that out in the next couple of weeks, and just more information to get new people excited and started with Tezotopia.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Joab. We really appreciate you coming on. Hop in the Discord. Check the Twitter, get involved. If you don't, it will cost you money. I promise you. You want to be early. You want to be in on this game. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you coming on. I know we had to reschedule this the first time, but thanks.
Happy to be there.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Definitely. And the theme has been constant throughout. Early adopters will be rewarded. Like Hofstra said, get in on this early. Joab, we cannot thank you enough for your time. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and tell your friends about it. That's the number one way that you can help all three of us here on the screen, is tell somebody else about it. Otherwise, remember that we are going to be giving away Matterlight whitelist. So be sure that you check out the Web3 DJ page after this. We're going to get the post tweeted up. And yeah, that's something you don't want to miss out on. So make sure that you check it out and you'll be qualified to win. Otherwise, yeah, I'm Sticky Finger Jones. This is Hofstra. We're the Web3 DJs with our new friend Joab from Tezotopia and Gift.Game. So thank you all so much, and we'll see you Wednesday.